How are we doing, guys? We are back on the Speedway channel, and just a quick one. Samuel probably won't be coming back this season. He's going through a personal thing which we're not going to get into. Hope you're all good, bro, and stay strong and all that, and we're always here for you and that. So yeah, it's hard time for a minute. It would just probably just be me doing the pods now until the end of the season, so hopefully he's okay and that. But yeah, stay strong, mate. We're all here for you. And yeah, let's chat some Speedway, and also shout out to Naomi who watches the channel as well. Right, that being said, Oxford versus Paul. I went to that about a week and a half ago now, to be fair. And yeah, I went to that meeting a week and a half ago, and it was an absolute fucking shambles, to put it bluntly. So I actually wrote down some notes, what happened in the meeting, and to start it off with, it was an absolute shambles. Heat 1, the tapes wouldn't go up correctly, and then it got worse in Heat 2 with only 2 riders completing the race. Look, I'm gonna say this now. This is what happens when you have 3 teams riding on one track. It don't work. Like, the track was, gonna say it now, bloody awful throughout the whole night. It was so dry. Obviously it's not Oxford's fault, it's just how the track was. It was very like dry and that, just, yeah, it was awful. The track was absolutely shocking throughout the whole night. And then for some weird reason in Heat 3 they went to a track break, which after 2 races, I don't blame them for going to a track break, to be honest with you. It was absolutely pathetic, that track. All the times I've gone to Oxford, I've enjoyed watching the track and stuff, but for this meeting, the track was an absolute shambles. This is what happens when you have, like I said a few seconds ago, this is what happens when you have 3 teams riding on the same track. The track just breaks up. For whatever reason, it just breaks up and stuff. So for me, it don't work. And then you fast forward a little bit into the meeting, and Heat 9, Sam Masters, and I think it was Paul Stark, they came down. It looked very untidy. At least they walked away in that. And yeah, just an absolute disaster. And then Heat 12, Jordan Jenkins had an absolute smash where all 3 riders just went down and stuff. He had to redrawn from the meeting at that stage, to be fair. So yeah, and then I think it was like Heat 13, Oxford took the lead, and then Paul regained the lead in Heat 14, and then Richard Lawson was very hard in Heat 15 on Cameron Heaps, which for me, everyone who knows, who watches the channel, even my podcast host knows, I hate riders what ride aggressively for the sake of it. It's not ideal. Obviously Paul Pirates went and won the night. They were the better team. They'll be pushing for the playoffs, as they currently are at the minute and stuff. But yeah, the night was an absolute shambles, to be totally honest with you. I've got some good pictures and that, but yeah, it was not a very good night. And then we'll go over to the bank holiday Monday, which I actually went to Sheffield again Bellevue against Sheffield. The overall opinion's this: Dan Bewley and Brady Kurtz, and pretty much the majority apart from Jake Mudford. I think I've said his name right, Jake Mudford. Apart from that, he was the only person in that Bellevue team who didn't really score. He was the only rider that didn't score that many points, to be fair. So, in theory, like, Norwich rode okay. Ben Cook was, I think it was Ben, or was it Zach? It's either Ben Cook or Zach Cook, one of the Cook brothers. He was there, he rode well. So did Jaden Lindsay, he rode well as well. And then Dan Bewley and Brady Kurtz just run the show for Bellevue. Like, they're so good to watch. Like, them two riders, they're just so good to watch around the National Speedway Stadium, to be honest with you. But there's question marks over Sheffield, man. There really is. Like, Jack Holder was the only person to score double figures on that night, like on lunchtime meeting, sorry. And yeah, it was really like poor from Sheffield. Like, you look at their team, like, you expect Chris Holder to score more, you expect Josh Pickering to score more and stuff. Look, I'm not going to get on Mick Morris because it's his first meeting, well, not his first meeting back, but his first meeting fully back as a rider at the National Speedway Stadium. So I guess he was looking for lines. Andrews Rowe, I'm not going to get on his back either because his van broke down and stuff. So yeah, it was really disappointing from Sheffield, to be honest with you. I thought they would put more of a challenge in, as it being a local derby, but they've got a very busy week, Sheffield. Next, well, starting tomorrow, they've got Kings Lynn, and then I think they've got like 3 meetings in the space of 4 days. But whether the weather holds out is another different matter. So, to be honest with you, it's a bit chaotic, to be fair. But yeah, I really enjoyed that meeting at the National Speedway Stadium. It's a lovely track. Like, if you've never been, I fully recommend it as a Speedway fan and stuff. But yeah, it was a good meeting on Monday. Bellevue with a Whiteley team that won the meeting on the day. Sheffield have got work to do if they want to win the league. I think Ipswich have definitely got a chance. Leicester have got a chance as well. But I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting end of the season now, and yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. On to the Grand Prix now for tomorrow, from yesterday. I've written a few notes down again. I thought Lingwin in one of his rides was a very lucky boy to not be excluded. I can't remember what heat it was, didn't actually write the heat down. And then question marks over Robert Lambert. Look, one of the heats he should not have been thrown out. I think that was an absolute disgraceful decision from the referee. I am going to get on a rant in a minute. He was very harsh done by the referee in that heat. Thought Dan Bewley did okay. Again, just did enough. Max Frick had a nasty crash in the last chance qualifier. He really did. And yeah, just nasty it was. It was one of them where, yeah, just nasty. Didn't really like the look of it, to be honest with you, but yeah, just poor. Well, he just caught too much grip and the bike went one way and then he went the other. Landed on his head as well. So he'll be feeling that this morning. But that was really the other. I'll get on to the other talking point in a minute because I'm going to go on a long rant. So, obviously, there was 3 points. Everyone was pressing it. Can Smažlik be world champion? That hasn't happened. Brady Kurtz is still in this fight. Honestly, like, watching Bartosz Smažlik and Brady Kurtz fighting for this world championship has been superb. Like, Bartosz Smažlik was world class last night. He rode well. Look, I don't like Bartosz Smažlik as a rider. Don't get me wrong. But as a rider, he rode well last night in Poland. To be honest with you, like, he was excellent. And it took a very good Brady Kurtz to beat him in the final as well. I think that's 4 or 5 wins now for Brady Kurtz in the Grand Prix. Honestly, he's been... If there's one rider, if he doesn't win this World Championship, I don't really think he'll be that gutted. Because he's had such a good season on the Grand Prix circuit this year. He's been superb from round 1 to now. He's been superb. And this has been one of the best title fights since you could argue Bartosz Smažlik against the Guta. That's when we had Russians in the series. But yeah, obviously Jack Holder is another rider who has made it into the 2026 series. Well done to Jack Holder. Congrats. Very good rider. He'll be pushing on next year again. So really, it's only 3 points between the two going into the last round in a couple of weeks. I can't wait. It's fully box office, this Grand Prix series. But the big question last night for me is why the fuck did they, like, water it, made it slippy? Like, I get it throughout, like, the 4 block of heats. Like, you have to do a trap braid. But I don't think there's no need to do it when you've only got 3 heats left of a meeting. That was an absolute shambolic decision. I don't know who came out with that one, but it was really poor. It overwatered the track. That's why Max Frick had his crash when he did in the runoff, in the last chance Finny. So for me, that was poor. Vashenik again was poor. I don't think we'll be seeing him back in the series next year. Jason Doyle, since he's come back from injury, he's looked good, but I don't think we'll see him in the series again next year, which would be a shame because he's actually rode well. Since he's come back from injury, he's rode really well. But yeah, just it's going to be interesting now to see how it finishes. Even though he got to the runoff, I don't think Dan Bewley had a good night either, to be honest with you. But look, it's one of them, ain't it, with Dan? It's one of them tracks where he rides for, so, but yeah, it's one of them with Dan Bewley. He'll be back. He's so good. But yeah, Freddie Lindgren, he was poor last night. Yeah, they just overwatered it when there's no need, and it really does annoy me. At least we won't see any more sprint racing this year, which is bloody lovely, because I hate the sprints. I didn't see it yesterday because I was out in London watching. That's why my voice is sounding a bit croaky in this podcast. But yeah, just Brady Kurtz wins again. Ole, ole, ole. Kurtz again. Ole, ole. But yeah, he was superb, and it's going to be a really interesting fight to the series. And yeah, just 165 plays 162, so that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. We'll be here doing it, obviously, and stuff. We can't wait now. It's coming to the end of the season, and Look guys, if you do like this sort of content, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. See you a lot later guys. We're out of here. Come on Brady Kurtz.